Alright, so in this video, I just want to go over how we do market research for each of the companies that we are getting on a call with. And I'm not talking about some surface level market research, I'm talking about market research that looks something like this. I'm going to walk you through everything here in a minute, but before that, let me show you what it looks like and how we create it in the backend. We use Clay, Make.com, Airtable, and then Claude to do everything. So first it starts at Make. So we have this integration here with Google Calendar that pulls all the meetings on my calendar, and it runs like I think every 8 or 6 hours. So it pulls like 3 to 4 times every single day, and then it pulls all the information back into Clay. That's the only thing that we are doing in Make. And then we have all these over here in Clay, and this is like the improved version that we have, and we are using this pretty recently. So what this looks like is we are passing the meeting date and the email of the person that we are getting on a call with, and the reason we are doing is we can find other information about them based on their email, either within Clay itself, because for all the replies we are getting, we have this table right here that tracks all the replies and then automatically reply back to them, which is going to be a different video in itself. But over here, first we try to find it in the auto reply table, and if we cannot find it over there, that means sometimes these people are jumping on the call, booking the call with us without even replying back to the email. So that's why we are pulling all the information about them from Instantly as well. And within Instantly, what we do is before we even send any like campaigns, we have all this information. So we include their company type, why they are a good fit, and everything like that. So this will help us understand about their business in detail without having to do the market research from scratch. And then once we have all this information, we are then trying to find if they have anything specific that they want to talk about in the call itself. So sometimes they reply back to us saying, hey, I want to talk about this on the call with you, or I want to find out how we could do these things on the call. So what we are doing here is we are basically searching for these things within the email itself. So it looks something like this, where they mention like they want to talk about this specific list or anything like that. That's another thing. And then what we are doing is we are adding all this information back into Airtable. And if we don't have this information in Airtable, we are just creating a new one. And then within Airtable, this is what it looks like. So it pulls all the additional information. And then we have this Claude project, and this Claude project, I'm gonna include the document like on how to create this Claude project for yourself as well, just below this video. And what we are doing is we are pasting their company name, company domain, and this additional information. Those are the only three things that we would need, and we would do the research as well. Let me show you what it looks like. So we paste everything right, and we click on this feature right here, extended thinking. Yeah, that helps, but the main thing that I want to show you is this research feature. Then you're just pasting the company domain and all this additional information, and then you just let it run for, sometimes it runs for like 1 or 2 hours as well, but most of the time it will run for 30 to 45 minutes. So yeah, you could just let it run. That's the only manual thing you gotta do. And then the final result would look something like this, and you could just present this to them on the call, and this will have so many nuggets that would be relevant for them. So I'll just show you like what it looks like. So it talks about who their target market is and everything like that, and it also tries to find out how many of these people are in their target market. So for this example, it's a very niche company, right? They are targeting higher ed institution with 5,000 to 20,000 students, and it gives us a rough estimation of how many of these companies out there, like how many institution we could reach out to in the US. And these are big companies, so it's only showing like 800 to 1200, but we could reach out to so many people at these these institutions. And then it does research on the company as well, like what are their USPs and everything like that. And we could use these value props and USPs to write email on the call itself as well. And it also pulls in the case study, the testimonials, and exact words that their client have said. And the reason we're doing this is because we could show them how we could launch campaigns targeting their similar case studies as well. And over here, as you can see, like the client wanted to see, like, talk about the case over here. Let me show you. Like, they want to go after the higher ed institution, but based on the research, what we found was like only 20% of their published case studies are higher education and 60% are K-12. So if I just go on a call and say this information, this is gonna open so many doors for both of us, because that client might not be looking at this, right? And that prospect might not be looking at this, and us like mentioning this small detail might help them go after this market that they were always like avoiding. So that's another thing as well. And this talks about their ICP, who they should be targeting and everything like that. And it also talks about the like people to target, the personas. And one more thing that I have made in this is what this does is it extracts the color from the main website of the prospect and then use that color throughout this like artifact. So as you can see over here, their color brand theme is blue. So within this artifact, everything is in blue color. So it's a small thing that would make such a huge difference, because I have seen sometimes client will notice this and they would appreciate it. So that's another thing. And it talks about the market size, how the market is growing and everything like that. And then we have this competitive intelligence. So it talks about their competitors, what they are doing, what their competition are doing, and how they're doing it differently from them. And then it also talks about the differentiation points and everything. I don't know what just happened, but everything stopped. So yeah, we're talking about this low-hanging fruit opportunities. So what we have seen working with multiple companies is that there are like handful number of low-hanging fruit that they could target, which most of the time they are overlooking, and that's where we see quick wins as well. So that's why we have this low-hanging fruit opportunities section that talks about all the low-hanging fruits that they could capture out there in the market. The first one is targeting their competitor LinkedIn followers. So what we do is we find out their competitor LinkedIn and then see how many followers that they have. We try to find companies with at least 5,000 followers and then reach out to those people within the ICP that are following this competition. And these numbers right here might not be 100% accurate, but these are just a rough estimation as well. So for this company, I see it was like 25,000. But it gives us an idea that okay, we could go after this company because the number is more than 5,000. Then we have niche databases and communities. So most people overlook this, but for every single niche out there, there are like specific databases that you could use. So, and reaching out to like people in these niche databases have gotten us so many good results, because we could use this familiarity principle, what I like to call. And what we are basically saying is, hey, I saw you are in EduCause, and we could say something like we are also part of it, and then we could just pitch it. We won't do it that directly, but we have a way to write copy around something like this. And this one is, I don't like it, but it just gives you an idea on how to do market research as well. And this right here is very good. It's a Slack channel, so it would be a bit difficult to scrape Slack, but we have a few workaround here. But it's gonna be so good when we know how to like find these people. And the third low-hanging fruit is reaching out to case study similar companies. Remember how we talked about like finding their case studies right here? Now what we could do is we could suggest them some campaigns around the companies that they have worked with already. And then we have the signal-based targeting. We find the top 3 signals that would be relevant for them. So we could find out something like this, and it would give you like how relevant this is as well. So this is of high priority, but if you go over here, this right here, this is not gonna be like, this is not something that a lot of people will talk about publicly, so we will not be able to find a lot of this information. So that's why it's a medium or a low priority thing. So it even like tells you information on why you should be going after these signals. And we have this messaging framework as well. These are not the best, but it still gives you an idea of what works and what does not out there. And yeah, these are the main things that are included inside this artifact. It's super detailed, and it's not something that we would rock with if we start to work with any company, but it just gives such a good idea on where we are heading and if we could understand their business or not. So if I just go out on a call with this, they will directly either tell me, hey Avik, you don't understand our business, this is not what we do, or they will say, okay, you understand our business, the last company we worked with, they didn't, so yeah, let's work together. So that's how, it's such a small thing, because we are using AI to do this, but we have created it in such a way that it finds all the relevant information and only find the information that are absolutely required, and then position it in a very well structured format. And yeah, that's the way to go about this. Like, we have been using this for pretty much, like, I think a few weeks at this point, and it's going pretty good for us, and we are definitely going to improve it over time and include some like email copies as well based on some of our proven frameworks within this document. So yeah, if you find this helpful, drop